What's up, YouTube? This is Richard Skeletor, and today we're going to be talking about feeling. Why is feeling important to manifestations? Well, basically you have to feel something for it to manifest. The deeper you feel it for a period of time, it will manifest, but you have to believe in that feeling. So that is really what we're going to talk about today, believing in the feeling. Basically, when you try to believe in a feeling, it can be very tough at first for the fact that you keep trying and trying and trying and you're not manifesting. So most people, when they try to manifest something, they're not feeling it properly. Well, what do I mean by that? Which means that they're always feeling it and they say, well, why hasn't it happened yet? I feel this and it hasn't happened. It hasn't shown up. It hasn't brought to you the thing that you desire. So you have to look at life in one way. You have to look at life that everything comes from you. That's got to be the first thing in any type of manifestation. When you think things come from you and only you, there's no outside source, that's how you make processes work. So how do you make this process of feeling work? So let's just use some examples here. Let's say you're trying to get money. A lot of people want more money, more financial abundance in their life. It could be for a business. It could be you just want to have unexpected income in some way, in some shape, in some form. So what you want to do is, let's just use that for the example. So what you want to do is you want to feel what it feels like to feel abundance. So what you want to do is you're going to feel that feeling of abundance. So when you say the word abundance, then feel that feeling inside you. Feel that feeling in you, abundance, and hold that feeling. And get used to practicing holding that feeling of abundance in your life. If you do this for, I would say, 5 minutes a day, twice a day, things will start to show up. Only if you believe that the feeling is the only reality. You are the only reality. There's no outside. There's only you inside. When you feel in that way, with that perspective and that mindset, you're not trying to make something happen saying it's already happened. It's already in me. So think about that. It's psychology. It's the psychology that everything comes from me, that everything is me pushed out. And when you start thinking in that way, it makes you get rid of blame. It makes you get rid of time. It makes you more subjective to something that I created this, whether it's good or bad. And I can change this if it's good or bad. But it comes from that psychology. So let's get into the psychology. How do you do that? You just got to start believing that everything comes from you. You got to believing that I can change this circumstance if I feel and believe it in me. So when you're looking at something from the outside, saying trying to make something happen, here's the test for you. This is what I would do. Look at the thing that you're trying to manifest, whether it's money or relationship, and we're going to put an emotional word on it. So let's say for a relationship, let's say you're in a relationship and you want that relationship to be better. So you can use the word healthy. Okay, close your eyes, feel healthy, and then say to myself, do I believe this? Do I believe in the feeling of this? Now, if you believe in it, when you feel it and you believe in it, let's you use the example from 0 to 10. So if you want to believe it at 10, so 10 being yeah, I can believe that, 0 being none. So if you believe something like that at 10, you know that you're believing it inside of you. If you're trying to make it happen, you can try this. Get like all anxiety and then try to feel something and you won't be able to believe it. But if you just do a calm state, so everything comes from you and you come from that mindset and you try to feel whatever you're trying to feel, and this thing it's a relationship, then it will work for you. So give it a try. Try the technique of trying to feel on a subject. Could be relationship, could be money, could be something else, could be your health. And do I really believe this feeling? Do I believe this feeling inside me? Is this feeling believable? So take the scale from 0 to 10. And you will see when you change your mindset from the psychology, when you use the psychology of everything comes from me, everything is me pushed out, and when you believe in that type of psychology, guess what? Then when you feel something, you're gonna get a 10 on the scale. You're not gonna get like a 3, 2, or 1. So I'm gonna do that for an example. I'm gonna show you guys right now. So let's say that I want more money, and I'm thinking from a different mindset. I'm thinking from a different psychology. Okay, I gotta get money right now. So I'm gonna focus on the word wealth. Okay, wealth, and I'm trying to feel wealth. And when I'm trying to feel something, because I'm trying to make something happen out here, so let me check that on the scale. I would get a 3 because I'm trying to make something happen. I'm trying to force something to happen. I believe that it's trying to happen out there. But if I say, okay, everything's from me and everything's inside of me, God's inside of me, and my thoughts create my reality. Everything comes from me. Everything is me pushed out. And then I try to feel it from that psychology. So try to think from that psychology. Okay, everything comes from inside of me. So then I want to feel wealth. And then when I feel wealth, let's put it on the scale. When I did it that way, about a 9 to 10. So you're going to get up there, and it's all about the psychology of when you do the practice and the process, that everything comes from you. And then when you go through your daily life, you got to look at all circumstances and events, that everything came from inside me. If everything comes from inside me, then I can change anything. If everything comes from inside me, I can change anything. Well, that's a really good affirmation for people that don't believe that everything came from inside you. So try to do this technique, work on it, and you will be surprised when you start to change the psychology. Because when you change the psychology, it takes you away from the blame mentality, victim mentality, to the mentality that I can change anything I put my mind to. I can change this circumstance just by feeling it. Because that's the technique I want you guys to practice, is this technique of feeling. When I deeply feel something and I believe it from the psychology that everything is me pushed out. If everything is me pushed out, then I have the power to change anything. I have the power to change anything in my life, in my relationships, no matter what the subject is. And then you're going to be able to check yourself on how you believe it, because when you believe it, it will become true. If I'm trying to do something, it's not going to come true, because I'm pushing against something. I'm pushing against it. It's out there. No, it's not out there. It's in me. It's in me that's creating this, not out there. So you got to come from that mindset. So that's like the best way I can explain it to people, to say that you have to do the 0 to 10 scale to check on the feeling. Do I believe this on the feeling of this emotional word, that I'm feeling it inside me? And when you're able to get that up to a 10, it's the mindset shift, that everything's inside me. And then you will actually know that you believe it, and then it will show up in your reality quicker. You can do this 0 to 10 scale on anything from affirmations. Well, affirmations are a little different. I'll get into that on another video, because it uses a different part of the mind. But if you use for the feeling is different. So feeling and visualization you can do on the 0 to 10 scale. On affirmations, it's a little different. I'll just give you guys a little rundown. With affirmations, you got to go more general and then specific, because it uses like the left part of the brain. And what I found out in the left part of the brain, is a little bit off subject, but we'll just get on to the 0 to 10 scale so you guys can understand. On the left part of the brain, basically what it does, it's like a linear part of the brain, whereas like the right part of the brain is more the creative part of the brain. And so when you're feeling, it's more on the, like they say, the right side of the brain. And also when you visualize, it's more of a feeling process. And affirmations are more of the left part of the brain, a linear process, A plus B equals C. So what I'm trying to say is, when you do affirmations, you're going to have to do it, and you won't be able to believe a specific affirmation. You can try it. Do I believe this? No. So for an example, I'll give you for an affirmation. Every day and every way, my health is getting better. That's a very general affirmation about health. But if you did something like this, I'm in perfect radiant health, and if you're not in perfect radiant health and you try to believe that, you're not going to be able to believe that. But the easier affirmation, health is getting better every day, or a little bit better, you'll be able to believe that, and that will make what you're trying to focus on manifest quicker. And this works for anything. It's all about what you believe. So it's all about what you believe inside you. So basically, do the 0 to 10 scale on the feeling process, and when you do the feeling process, it will feel more natural to you. It won't feel like a trying process. But it's a psychology. So remember, psychology number 1, feeling, check it on the scale from 0 to 10. Do I believe this? And keep practicing. Now, it's a recommendation that you do this for 5 minutes twice a day on a subject. Don't jump around from subject to subject. Stay on one subject. If it's money, do it for at least 3 weeks to a month. 5 minutes in the morning, 5 minutes at night, feeling that emotion. If you're not a visualizer, if you're not somebody who does affirmation, and it will manifest. But it's all about committing to a process. It's all about doing it with consistency. Now, another thing you can do with feeling, if you're not in affirmations or visualizations, is when, let's say you're using the subject of money. So every time you pay a bill, let's say you get angst about it. So we'll start the feeling process, then start feeling abundant before paying the bill. And remember, it's not trying to make something happen. It's believing that, okay, everything comes from inside me. That's psychology, and you feel abundance, and you feel it deeply. And that's really got to be the key to manifesting what you want in the moment of living your daily reality. So these are just some examples. I know I went off subject a little bit into affirmations and visualization, but the whole point was to get this feeling psychology done using the scale from 0 to 10 on what you believe, because what you believe will manifest. All right, guys, let me know if this helped you a little bit. You can leave a comment below about feeling. You can leave a comment below about using the scale from 0 to 10 about believing, because do I believe this feeling? Do I not believe this feeling? And try it out. Try the psychology game. Did I try to make something happen? Can I believe it? I really don't think you can. But when you sit down and say everything comes from inside me, and then come into that feeling place and then start feeling, guess what's going to happen? Things will start magically starting to show up in your life if you do it for 5 minutes twice a day. All right, guys, take care. Bye.